Pardon me? Here we go. So we have two units of measurement, SI, which is what we call the metric system. Oh, come on in. Oh, hi, Connie. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we're going to measure length. What do we measure length in imperial? Sorry, metric? Meters. So we have centimeters, millimeters, kilometers, or kilometers. Okay, and just plain meters. But the base unit's meters. And then we have volume. For all you doctors out there, volume is measured in liters. Okay, milliliters, milliliters, centiliters, in liters, kiloliters as well, hectoliters, dairy farmers out there. Okay, then we have mass. Mass is measured in what, young scientists? Starts with a G, ends with a gram. Good job, gram. Hey, you'll meet doctors. Okay, so we got kilograms, milligrams, centigrams, hectograms, decigrams, decagrams. Lots of them I don't use, right? What do we usually use? Kilograms and grams, okay? But they're all out there. Remember, it's a base 10, so you can multiply by 10 or divide by 10 and go from one unit to the other. We'll be doing that later. Any questions so far? Okay. Crazy Britons, and of course the Americans as well, they use the imperial units. Imperial kind of means crown, hence it's somewhat developed in Britain. Okay. For length, they're going to use what? Feet, inches, yards, crazy guys, and miles. I wonder why it's so hard. Volume, ooh, what do they use? They use gallons, right? All your parents can go to the States, buy gas. Okay, they use gallons, and I believe there's, what's another one? Quarts. Weird. Don't use quarts too often. Okay. And then mass, what do they use? Pounds. Now, there is such thing as a stone. I think it's about 14 pounds. Don't need to know that, okay? There's even another one, but I can't remember what it is. You should know. Come on, crazy Brits. Pardon? Pounds and stones. There is one more though, I thought. You left too young, I guess. No? Well, and you don't even know what there is? Come on, I thought it was your country. What's going on? Pounds and stones. How many stones are how many pounds in a stone then? It's 14? Okay. I just know that because for rugby, when you get your program, right, they'll say what, 6 stones, 4 pounds, something like that. Okay? Now, measurements can be exact or estimates, so keep that in mind. Okay, so sometimes we're going to be rounding. That would be an estimation. Metric system. We have 1, 2, 3 different conversion factors. To go from 1 centimeter to 10 millimeters, you times by 10. To go the other direction, you divide by 10. Now, you can also use a scale factor. 1 centimeter over 10 millimeters. Or 10 millimeters over 1 centimeter. Right? You can write it as a fraction. Now I'm going to do the fractions and show you that a lot. But some of you are like, oh, it's so hard, Mr. Barker. And you know what? It's kind of overkill for this, but the other stuff it's not. I'm just kind of leading down a pathway so you can get the hard questions right. But if you know the shortcut, go ahead and use it. No problems. Got it? Oh, this is really good. Okay, so I have to take a picture of this apparently. Let me stop the video first. Oh, yes, now I remember. Let's move this around. Over there. Good. So if we want to go from meters to centimeters, it's timesing by 100. Going the other way, it's dividing by 100. And same thing here, timesing by 1,000 now. Ooh, big number. Notice kilo. Kilo is actually a prefix for 1,000. Okay, and here dividing by 1,000. Now, rest no fear, you're going to get this in your data booklet. I think it's this one. Yes, right here. Okay, so this is SI. So going from one SI unit to another, that's given to you. It's on your blue data booklet that you got on Monday, Tuesday, someday. Okay? Last. There you go. Any questions about that? So this is for going within those units. Next. Okay. So, any questions about that? keep in mind for this unit, it would be good to have a ruler and it would be good to have a protractor. Okay, don't buy the whole geometry set. We're only using a protractor. It's about 50 cents, something like that. Okay, so you should get a protractor. It'll help. We have one you can borrow, but then you have to give it back right away, so you can't go measure all the other angles, which I know you want to. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So let's see if you can measure. Go home tonight, take out your dad's measuring tape if he has one, or your mom's if she has one. I'm not trying to like stereotype here, but then measure something and see if you can do it properly. Go for it. Put these measurements on the right spot. So 1.7 centimeters. Here's the 1, and 0.7 means you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You put a line there and label it A. Any questions? Pardon? For 1.7?
No, not 1.7.
For millimeters?
No, I know that. Like, unit.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But those, like, this would be a non-calculator section of the test. Okay. I'll tell you when to use it. Don't worry, Ashley. I know you're just itching. That calculator finger just twitching, right? Ready to press that button. Go! Oh, you didn't? That's not good. You need it today. Oh, you're going to fail this course. Don't bring a calculator. Shame, shame. Okay, B, where is it? Don't just laugh and stare. Let's go. B, where is it? In between 5 and 6? Whereabouts? Yeah, right in the middle, because this is 5.5 centimeters. So often they're going to do that to you. They'll give you the ruler in centimeters, but ask for the answer in millimeters, or vice versa. So please read and know which unit's which. We're out to C. 32.5, so that's in between 32 and 33. So here's 32 and 33, and boom, right in between. Any questions? Are you going to have to do that? Absolutely. Good. So practice it. Maybe you can teach your dad how to measure. He doesn't know. I don't know. Right? Your mom? Who knows? Maybe cut out sewing patterns? Just saying. I don't know. Okay, convert. So you have to measure an appropriate unit. Look at this person. Earth to moon. And the guy measured in? Like, would you really do that? Come on. No. You guys might try, but don't. So we're going to convert that to a better unit. What would be a better unit? Milliliters? Kiloliters? Yeah, I'm not talking about the same thing here, right? Kilometers. All right, so you can convert that centimeters into meters. So you can go 38440, 3,000,000 centimeters. And we're going to times it by nothing. Well, you can, but we'll get to that in a second. We would divide this by 100, and what that does is moves your decimal 2 spots. Okay. Then what we're going to do, we would then be in meters. So then what we're going to do is divide by 1,000, and that will get us into kilometers. Okay. So then we move our decimal. How many places? 3. 1, 2, 3. So our answer is 384,403 kilometers. Okay. Now, if you're good at changing these units, you're on this, no problem. Perfect. However, there's a way for those that aren't that good to do these questions. What you would do is go 384,403,000 centimeters and multiply it by the conversion factor. Centimeters will go on the bottom, so when you multiply, they cancel. Okay. So I would cancel those. Now what goes on top? This would be 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So what you're left with is meters. Then you'd multiply it to get rid of meters. So meters would go on the bottom, and these guys here would cancel. This scale factor would be 1 kilometer represents 1,000 meters. And the unit you'd be left with is kilometers. Now, where do you get these guys? It's given to you right here in your data booklet. Okay? We're going to be doing more and more of that. Even on the easy questions, I need to do this method. So you get used to it. So let's practice that. Now, someone measured a worm in meters. Is that appropriate? Well, look at the decimal. No, you don't want all those decimals. So we're going to take 0.0019 meters, times it by the conversion factor. What unit should go on the bottom so meters cancel? Meters. Right? Now these guys cancel. So looking at your conversion factor, we want to go to centimeters, and 10 centimeters in, 100 centimeters in 1 meter. You get that from your data booklet. Okay. So what does that equal? Well, it's like moving your decimal how many places? 2. So 0.19 centimeters. Okay. Multiply that by conversion factor, centimeters, millimeters. Like what, 0.19, that's still not a nice number. That's why I'm going to do this one more time. My centimeters will cancel out. The numbers will be 10 millimeters and 1 centimeter, and I'm left with 1.9 millimeters. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Next, scale diagrams. Okay. For this one, it's actual to the diagram. And so as a fraction, it'd be 1 over 400. So this would be your actual measurement. Sorry, not D over A, it's DA, diagram to actual. Sorry about that. So D is first. So 1 centimeter on the diagram represents 400 centimeters of the actual distance. Okay. Questions? This is a little bit of a review, grade 9. All right, you did a little unit on scales. So if we have 2 centimeters on the drawing, that's 2 centimeters on the diagram. The actual distance we're trying to find, that equals the scale of 1 to 400. So what we get here is you can cross multiply. 2 times 400 equals 1 times A. 1 times A is simply A, and that's going to be 800, and this would be centimeters. Is that a good unit to measure things in? Centimeters? 800? No. How many meters is that? 8 meters. Okay. So 8 meters is a better unit for measuring because meters will have like a 1 number, whereas centimeters now it's like 800. Doesn't give us very much perspective. Questions? Questions? Comments? Concerns? Okay. Now, there's another way of doing that. You could also look at this and say, hey, equivalent fractions idea. In order to go from 1 to 2, I multiply by 2. So to figure out the A value, I'll start with 400 and times it by 2 as well. Okay. So scale diagrams are nice that way. Okay. The question is, what are the dimensions of the actual yard? So here's a diagram. Please measure the length and please measure the width. Go. Use a ruler. There's one in your data booklet. Find your blue data book. All right. 5.2, good. And the other one? Jared? Oh, wait. So measure the width as well. Michaela Porter? Measurement? Oh, why not? You don't know how to use a ruler? Oh. So you just didn't want to do it. That would be a yes, Mr. Barker. I didn't want to do it. Don't learn that, right? Pardon? It should be bigger than that. You're measuring inches, aren't you? Yeah, you have to use a centimeter ruler. It's on there. Yes, there is. Very front. Isn't there? Oh. You just don't have the centimeter ruler. Okay, hold on for a second here. Yeah, totally. It should be right beside this one. It's not? Well, that's very odd. Weird. This is the new one, right? Yo, this is the old one. What's the new one then? Oh, I'm recording this. Stop. Tell you it's 3.1. Okay, so we're going to do exactly what we did in A, but for B, tell me the length of the actual yard if our diagram is 5.2, and then tell me the width of the actual yard if the diagram is 3.1. So one fraction will be 5.2 over A equals 1 over 400, and this one will be the width using 3.1. Go ahead, do your work, find the measurements. Go. Okay, so 2080 centimeters, probably want to convert that. And the other one, 3.1 times 400, be 1240 centimeters. Probably want to convert that. So 20.8 meters, 12.4 meters. Hands up, you got that? Good. Any questions about that? I think you'll see like one question in your homework on that, maybe one question on the test on that, one question on the review, one question on the final exam. It's not going to see a lot of stuff on this, okay? If you're stuck, please ask for a refresher. Next, the imperial system. So we're going to convert within the imperial system. So this will be on your data booklet. Trust me, I know it is. I'll even show it to you. Okay, so here's some really weird ones that they like to use. Okay. So, going back here, going to start with the measuring. Every inch has 16 parts from 0 to 1, so everything can be measured out of 16. Okay. All you gotta do is count. So for A, I'll count. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So A is going to be 12 over 16. Pretty easy, just count. Now you have to reduce it to lowest terms. What can you divide them both by? 2 would work, also 4. So this equals 3 over 4, 3/4. Okay, so you don't have to magically come up with 3/4, although some of you will notice, hey, there's a pattern with this long line. But I don't really care if you see that or not. Count out of 16. Okay. So B's past the 1 inch mark. So it's going to have a whole number, and now from here on, you count your increments. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep counting all the way to get to B. Go. Harge, what'd you get?
1.
Good. Can you reduce that fraction at all? No. Okay. What about C? How many whole inches have you passed for C? 2. Good. And what's the fraction? 2 and 13 out of 16. Notice how you're at the same part of the inch mark for B and C. One's just a whole inch longer. Keep that in mind. Okay. Measure D and E. Go. Jordan, what's D? Good. Final answer? Three and 3/8. Divide both of them by 2. Okay, lowest terms. E. Michaela Grattan. 4 and 5/8. So you'd start with 4 and 10 over 16, and then reduce. Good job. Any questions you guys got? So they're never going to ever give you a question that easy. They're going to give you something like this. What is the length BD? So what you're going to do is take 3 and 3/8, and you're going to subtract 1 and 13/16. That's what you're going to do. So, common denominator will be 3 and something over 16 minus 1 and 13 over 16. This will be what? 3 and 6 over 16. Now, if you'll notice, 6 minus 13 would give you a negative number. But that can't be the case because you can't have a negative measurement. So we're going to take a group of 16 out. So that'll be 2. And what's 16 plus 6? 22. Minus 1 and 13 over 16. So the whole numbers will give you 1. What's 22 minus 13? 9. So the answer is 1 and 9/16. Okay, so you got to be able to subtract fractions. That's going to be a great non-calculator question, right? Very simple. Can you measure? Do you know how to subtract? Do you know what your fractions are and all that stuff? Okay. All right. Next up, convert each measurement, 4 yards to feet. So 4 yards times, we want feet, so feet go on the top. And what has to cancel? Yards, that goes on the bottom. Fill in the numbers, please, from the very top, right here. Pick the proper unit. What should you pick? So it should be 1 foot, 3 yards. Wrong way. 3 over 1, he said. Let's change it around. 3 feet, 1 yard. So on your calculator, you can go 4 times 3 divided by 1, 4 divided by 1 times 3, or 4 times 3 divided by 1. Your choice. Do you really have to do the divide by 1 part? No. So your answer is going to be 12. Okay, 4 yards times, what goes on top? What goes on the bottom? So then you can see that yards will cancel out. Okay. For this one, you gotta go to your data booklet because they've updated it. So you're looking the one for yards and inches right there. Okay, so fill that in properly. From your data booklet, fill it in. Okay. 1 yard, 36 inches. Okay, so 1 yard, 36 inches. 4 times 36 on the calc. 144. Sorry?
Why are we times by the yards and not the inches? Because in the other equation, we use the feet. Times.
Well, no, we're going 4 yards times 36 inches. Is it just
I put the, sorry.
you got it switched up? Okay. You guys okay with that? Thumbs up, down, in the middle. Okay. Okay, so let's keep going. We've got a few more of these, and then we're going to get weird. So 14 feet to yards and feet. Okay. So this is a harder one. So we have 14 feet. Do you guys... All right, so 14 feet times yards. 1 yard, 3 feet. That's the conversion factor. So that equals 14 times 1, doesn't change anything, divided by 3, 4.6666 dot dot dot. Okay, that means we have 4 yards. What we want to do then is take the decimal, this is yards, 0.666 dot 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 yards, and multiply it backwards. So our conversion factor does what? Our conversion factor flips. So that's going to give us how many? Now on your calculator, watch this magic trick. Do you guys see the 4? You guys see the 4? How do we get rid of the 4? Minus 4. Oh, it's gone. Good trick, Mr. Barker. All you gotta do is subtract it. Now look at all your decimals. You should do that on your calculator right now. Go. Practice this. Learn it. Love it. It's easy. It's not magic. It's math. Just gotta subtract. Okay. Then we go times 3, and voila. Oh, exact answer 2. Now, if you don't get 2, would you get like 1.99 or something like that, or something a bit higher than 2? Your calculator's rounding. You need to see me to get it. Stop doing that. Okay. So the final answer is 4 yards, 2 feet. And they go together as a single answer. Welcome to the imperial system. Yes, it's not a good one. Yes? You got it, Navjeet? Okay. Any other questions? Going once? Twice? Okay, so let's do one more. 284 yards to miles. So 2845 yards times 1 mile. That's like 1760 yards. Okay. So everyone should do that on the calculator. .616477, and then it's dot dot dot. So we have 1 whole mile. Now we got to figure out how many yards are left. So we do our magic trick, and then we multiply it by the conversion factor, but flip it. Okay, because we want to go backwards. This is miles. We want to take our miles and go backwards. 1 mile, 1760 yards. Times 1760. And so we get 1085 yards remaining. Okay. How you guys doing on that one? Thumbs up, down in the middle. Okay. So those are the harder ones, absolutely. Now, for this one, 78 inches to feet in inches, you would do the exact same thing. But because they're smaller numbers, do you guys want to know how to cheat? So okay if I teach you how to cheat? 78 inches, you want to treat it like a fraction out of 12. Because it's 12 inches. Sorry, 12 inches in 1 foot. So what you want to do is write as a mixed number. There's 6 groups of 12. How many are left over? Well, remember, 6 groups of 12 is 72, so if you subtract 72, there's, what, 6 left over? So you'd say this is 6 feet, 6 inches. Now, using your special marks, this would be 6, 2 apostrophe, quote marks, and 6 apostrophe, right? I don't think they're going to test you on that, but just so you know, right? That's kind of common knowledge. That's for all the boys out there when they become men. You should know that, just to let you know. Serious, but it is kind of funny anyways. Okay, 5 feet 3 inches, so we're going the other way. So what we can do is do this conversion separately. 5 feet times 1 foot, 12 inches. You can get 60 inches. Don't forget about the 3 though. Got to add them up now. A little bit different, right? So we got 5 whole feet plus 3 inches left over. Gives us a grand total of 63 inches. Okay. All right, doing the same thing. 2 miles, 120 yards. We want to convert it all to feet. So 2 miles times 1 mile, 1760 yards. You can't directly go to feet, folks. It won't work. There's nothing for you to do. So, Haley, what am I doing right now? Yeah. So the flux capacitor times 4 divided by 2 squared equals what? Pay attention. You're multiplying these, Haley, so we can transfer this to yards. Then we can get it all our yards into feet. Okay? Because you can't go directly there. So 2 times 1760 equals 3520. Add the 120. 3640 yards total. So now we can take our total yards, okay, and convert it to feet. Okay, so it's going to be a very big number. So plus 120 equals that, times it by 3 equals that, 10920 feet. So sometimes you got to be careful with your conversions, okay? Add things together and then convert totals. So what to do, okay, you have to watch units. So we want to take this, convert it to inches, and this, convert it to inches. That's easier than going inches into feet, okay? So we're going to 7.5, so 7.5 feet equals how many inches? Do that conversion, please. So 7 times 12 equals 84. And 1/2 times 12. Oh, what's half of 12? 6. So the total will be 90 inches. Now that's just what we did up above. I just kind of simplified it a bit. Okay. Sometimes you guys want to take shortcuts, so I did just show you a shortcut. You guys okay with that? Okay, so 5 feet equals how many inches? 60 inches. Good. So what we have to do with the kitchen floor is figure out the area. So it's going to be 90 inches times 60 inches. Now don't use your calculator. You'll know there's going to be 2 zeros. You know what's 9 times 6? Rabinovich? Good. That's inches squared. Okay, so that's the area of the floor. Now our tile is 6 by 12. So for the tile, find the area, length times width, 6 times 12. The area will be 72 inches squared. So now we have to figure out how many tiles. essentially what we're doing is we're taking our floor area and seeing how many groups of 72 are in there. So 5,400 divided by 72 equals 75. So we need 75 tiles. Okay. What if the number came out 74.1? How many tiles would you need? Really? What part of the floor are you not going to tile? Oh, gotta be careful with rounding with word problems. If the answer is 74.1, you'd still round up. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to have a spot that's not covered. So if I wanted to put wallpaper on the walls and my number came out to 3.1 rolls, how many rolls of wallpaper should I buy? 4. Otherwise, there'll be a spot not covered. Okay. If I was going to paint the walls and it came out that I need to buy 3.4 cans, how many cans should I buy? 4. Okay. So word applications, you're usually going to round up. Okay. Unless there's a spot of the wall you don't want to paint. Trust me, guys, the wife gets mad when you do that. Okay, continuing. Photograph. Yeah, didn't go well. Okay, polar bears scales 1 to 24. So that's again diagram to actual. What is that? 1 over 24. Okay, you got to keep that in mind. So it's measured to 3 3/8 on the drawing. So 3 3/8 will be the drawing measurement, and you want to figure out the actual measurement. So A 3 3/8 times 24 equals 1 times A. So really A 3 3/8 times 24 equals A. Now what's 3 3/8 as a decimal? 3 divided by 8 equals 0.75. So our whole number should be 3, and our decimal will be 0.375 or 5 times 24. Now, the only reason why I'm doing that is because on my calculator I don't have a fraction button. If you have a fraction button, go ahead and use it for this. Times by 24, that equals 9. Okay, so we have 9. Did I do that right? No. Oh, I forgot to add the 3. 3.3, oh, bugger. 3.375 times 24 equals 81. But we want the answer in feet and inches. So now you have to convert it. So 81 over 12 equals what? 6 or 7? No. 6 and 11/12. So that would be 6 feet, 11 inches. Any questions? Is it 9? 81 minus 72? 9 inches. Thanks for saying something. Good. Any questions? All right. Here we go then. Choosing the appropriate unit to measure things. What would make the most sense? Hence the word sensible. Length of a soccer field. You would measure a soccer field in kilometers? Yes, meters. Okay. What about imperial? Yards. Okay. Distance between two cities. Kilometers. Imperial. Miles. Oh, the diagonal measurement of a TV screen. What do you think? Centimeters? It could be meters too. Actually, I think it is meters, but don't worry about it. It could be centimeters. Imperial, what is it? Inches, yes. Everyone wants a 60-inch TV screen. Okay, length of a safety pin. Yeah, centimeters or millimeters. This one, inches. Length of the room, meters. Okay, it would definitely be a decimal. That's okay though. What about imperial? Feet and inches, right? You'd have 6 feet 4 inches, something like that. Okay. Width of an iPhone, centimeters probably. What about imperial? Inches. Okay, it's going to be a fraction, but still measured in inches. Height of an elephant, meters. Imperial, feet and inches, right? Probably like, 16 feet 4 inches or something like that. Span of your hand, centimeters and inches. Okay, so you got to have an idea of a good unit to use to measure things. Now what we're going to talk to is reference. It's an item that's used for measuring, okay, for estimating. For example, if I know that this pencil is, say, this one is 8 inches long, I can measure my width of my length of my desk by saying it's, I forgot to count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pencils. 7 times 8 means it's about 56 inches. So the reference is the pencil. Okay. So you have to know some ideal references. Thickness of a dime is about 1 millimeter. Your fingernail is about 1 centimeter. Your waist, okay, and this should be or. The height of a doorknob is 1 meter. A kilometer is about 7 football fields. You wouldn't use that. Imperial, inch. The thumb up to the joint. The foot is an adult foot. A yard is a stride. Okay, be careful about pace. And an arm span is from your nose to your fingertip. Okay, so arm span, some people call that an arm span. We're very, very careful when we talk about those. And a mile, this is how they actually measured it. It's the distance you can walk in 20 minutes. Crazy. Welcome to the Roman times. Okay, they would march for 20 minutes and then call that a mile. Anyways, don't need to know that. So, consider the length of your desk. Identify a referent not found in the table. Let's use a calculator. Okay. In metric, let's use the same one. Let's use Herman's calculator. How long do you think Herman's calculator is? Hold it up for everyone to see. What do you guys think? Jared? Turnji? 10 inches, okay. Harji? 10 inches. Kayla? 8 inches. Good. Anyone else want to take a guess? Who's got a ruler? Hirschkorn? Can you measure it? Do you have inches on there?
Yes.
Okay. 6. Okay, so it's about 6 inches. So it's good to know, right? You guys got to get better estimating. So tonight, go home with your measuring tape. Start measuring. Okay. Good. Let's use the same one. Oh, we screwed up, didn't we? Let's put this one down here, 6 inches. This one should be SI units, okay? So how many centimeters? What do you guys think? Oh, who haven't asked? Kyla, how many centimeters for Herman's calculator? Hold it up so you can see. How many? Guess. Come on. Guess. 12, okay. Austin. 15. Jordan. 15. Good. Jesse. 21. Justin, you got a metric on there? No. Who else? Does anyone have a ruler of centimeters? Oh, that's what I meant. Go ahead. Measure in centimeters, please. I bet you somewhere around just about 13 or 14. 15? Good. So 15 centimeters. All right. So now we're going to estimate the length of your desk using your reference. So Herman, take your calculator, measure the length of your desk. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and what? Quarter? Third? Say 4 1/4. 4 1/4 calculators. Now, if you were really just estimating, you would say that's about 4 calculators, and you just eyeball it. Okay? Good. So let's check. So what we're going to do. Oh, it's thinking. It's not liking something. Don't shut down on me. So we're going to go 6 inches times 4 1/4 equals how many inches? Well, 24, and what's a quarter times 6? Well, half of 6 is 3. What's half of 3? 1 1/2. So this is going to be 25 1/2 inches. Okay. All right, so then we're going to go 15 centimeters times 4 1/4. So 4 times 15 is 60. And then what's a quarter of 15? Well, what's half of 15? About 7 1/2. So we'll say it's 8, and then what's half of 8? 4. Okay. So it's about 4. So it's about 64 centimeters. Okay. Good. So let's measure 64 centimeters. Let's see how we did. This is probably the longest class of the unit. Okay. The other ones go a little bit faster. On here you have your homework. You have number 1 with the worksheet from yesterday. You can finish that. Number 2 is the textbook work for today, page 11, page 15, and page 25. Or you can take the next 10-15 minutes to do some more practice questions. Choose wisely. Go. Yep.
Can I still my shoe back on the
Absolutely. Because otherwise it's closed.
Just a little.
Sorry. Yeah, perhaps don't mess you up.
Yesterday's homework. Are we supposed to just leave it?
No, you should add them together. Okay, so it'll be 1,000 plus 25 times pi. Then you get decimals. You will not, pi will disappear. So in calculator, you might go 25 times pi plus 1,000.
Okay.
Okay, so only if it's just a circle or a cylinder will you use something pi.
Alright. And then for like something like this, would you actually want us to do the math?
Yeah, you probably want the decimal for that. Okay, but typically no. But for that one, yes, because we're finding area. Okay.
So this one you go like in
Yeah.
your
So
calculator.
I always wrote 25 pi. That's typically how you write it. Okay.
Okay, so plus 1,000.
Yeah.
And
Now
would
you
that
can have the 1,000 in front, but
Okay.
it's always 25 pi. The number is 5 pi.
would that be the final answer? Or
No, then you
no?
go and get a decimal. So you
Okay.
go try to calculate.
Okay.
This is for February 22nd.
The 22nd. Isn't that your test on that date?
No, that's tomorrow. Test is tomorrow.
Block E?
Yeah.
C. Very much C.
Yeah.
So see the website, you get caught up on class.
Okay.
Hard when
Is this done?
yeah.
Or is all this going to be on the?
Website?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Because I'm leaving this Friday. That's why.
Oh, for India, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all we're gonna be there. When are you coming back? After some break?
No, like before Sunday.
Okay, so you have all the work to do.
Yeah. I'm coming back on this day.
Okay. So these worksheets are in there. So you should be pretty set. Want me to check the website if you want, Arch?
Is this 2 weeks? Is this 1 week?
Yeah, it's 2. It was a little bit more. Right? 'Cause it goes here Friday, so this is the end of this week. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's 1 week. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you're gonna get a little bit of extra, right?
Yeah.
So after that, just get a copy, get back, and I'll give it to after spring break, and we'll get you make the test.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Oh, you guys have course planning tomorrow, don't you?
Yes.
Oh, I should have had you guys write the test today. Tomorrow's decaf? Okay. Bring your lunch, because you'll be in there at lunch if you need to. Otherwise, you better enter your courses quick. It's only supposed to take 20 minutes. Yep. Yeah. Stay. Pardon me? Yeah. Yeah, it's just we got to get it done. So you might be in your lunch a little bit, into your course planning quick. You guys should have it all organized up. Listen carefully. Do it. Yeah. Okay. So the easier way of converting is taking this. This is 2 whole inches. Now this fractions out as 16, so you have 0.375 times 16. That answer you put up top. Now if you get a decimal, you ignore the decimal. Just put the whole number on top, okay? Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused by that minus.
Why is that?
I'm just confused. What are we trying to do?
Well, what we're trying to do is we're trying to convert this 14 feet into yards and feet. So when we multiply by a conversion factor, we get a whole number, which means we have 4 whole yards. This is 4 whole yards. Now you also have some leftover part, right? So for example, you have 4 whole yards, and you got a little bit of extra. This little bit of extra, we don't want to leave as a decimal. They never do that. They convert this extra back into feet. That's what we're doing. Is we're converting our extra bit, the decimal, back into feet. That's right. And so, no, go ahead.
So even minus this, and you have the decimal left.
Yep.
It could be because you got 300 by yours, so you just have an extra here. You get an extra and multiply it by. This is a conversion factor. You can try to get 2 minus it.
Yeah.
Both of the yards.
Yeah, because this is yards. Yeah, yards.
So I think I'll over both of the yards. You have the answer in feet.
That's right.
Yards to feet. But thank you.
You're welcome. So it's kind of 2 parts to the answer, right? How many yards and how many leftover feet didn't get converted?
And do they need to like memorize this?
Just have a general idea of that, right? Like if I say millimeters, do you know how big a millimeter is? If I say centimeter, do you know how big that is?
For the test tomorrow.
Yeah, real quick. If it's a long one, just I'll leave your books here. Okay?
I'm still a little bit confused on how to like. When you have like a solution symbol and you have a fraction in there and then the exponent part.
Oh.
I'm pretty confused on how to. On my calculator.
That's not a calculator question.
Like if you had exponents on this.
The height of your decimal?
Like that?
Yeah, or like maybe you have like different exponents. I'm not sure how to do that.
You would. You get an answer here and an answer there.
Oh, you do it manually?
Yeah, then you go square root of the answer divided by square root of the answer. Or, right? Or what you could do is square root of this division. Right? So it's your choice on how you want to do that.
I think
Yep. If it's a specific one, that helps me a bit more, okay? If it's a specific question, it helps me a bit more. Like you say, I don't get question number 4 or something.
yeah, like, it was this question that had like decimals.
Bring it up, because that's on your test tomorrow.
Oh, this is about rounded